Among the many surprises Pluto had in store, one of the most mesmerizing was its landscape of methane dunes. Yes, dunes, on a world so cold that gases freeze and rocks are made of ice. It's hard to believe, but even in Pluto's tenuous atmosphere, wind still shapes the surface. These dunes, discovered near the boundary of Sputnik Planitia, span a region roughly 2,000 kilometers wide, making them comparable in scale to massive desert systems on Earth, like the Taklamakan Desert in China or Death Valley in California. But unlike earthly sand dunes formed from silica grains and whipped by air currents, Pluto's dunes are composed of tiny particles of methane ice, blown by exotic and extremely weak winds. So how do these particles become airborne in such a thin atmosphere? The answer lies in sublimation, a process where solids transition directly into gas. On Pluto, as sunlight warms the nitrogen ice that blankets the surface, the ice sublimates and creates tiny updrafts. These gaseous bursts carry lightweight methane grains up into the atmosphere, and eventually they settle and accumulate along ridges and plains, forming transverse dunes with regular, repeating patterns. This discovery was astonishing, not only because it proved that Pluto has active aeolian, wind-driven processes, but because it showed that even the weakest atmosphere can still reshape a world. In an environment where the surface pressure is less than a millionth of Earth's, the presence of dunes testifies to a subtle but ongoing interaction between surface and atmosphere. And this wasn't the only surprise in Pluto's dynamic surface environment. New Horizons also captured evidence of possible cryovolcanism, ice volcanoes that may have once erupted ammonia water slush instead of molten rock. These features suggest that Pluto has, or had, internal heat, potentially sustained by radioactive decay in its rocky core. If this heat persists, it could allow subsurface oceans to exist today, protected beneath layers of ice. In fact, the idea of a hidden ocean beneath Sputnik Planitia, an ocean rich in ammonia or salts that lower the freezing point of water, has become a hot topic in planetary science. Such oceans may even provide the chemical conditions necessary for primitive life. So yes, Pluto, a world we once thought lifeless and frozen solid, might be more biologically promising than some of the larger moons in our solar system. All of this, the dunes, the atmosphere, the ice volcanoes, the possible ocean, is part of what makes Pluto so extraordinary. And none of it would have been known without the New Horizons mission. Let's take a moment to recognize the engineering brilliance behind this spacecraft. Launched in 2006, New Horizons was designed for one thing: speed. It left Earth faster than any spacecraft before it, reaching the Moon in just 9 hours. In 2007, it used a gravity assist from Jupiter to slingshot toward Pluto, trimming years off its travel time. Then, for much of its 9-year journey, it slept, entering hibernation to preserve energy and reduce wear on its systems. Every so often, it would wake up to receive software updates, calibrate instruments, and verify trajectory. This precision was essential. New Horizons would get only one shot at Pluto. When it finally reached its target in July 2015, it had just hours to collect data. Every camera angle, every instrument sweep, every byte of storage had to be pre-programmed. There would be no do-overs, and it worked flawlessly. From over 4.8 billion kilometers away, it transmitted detailed images, atmospheric readings, and topographical maps. It continued its journey, flying by Arrokoth in 2019, and today it remains active, pushing deeper into the Kuiper Belt and toward the edge of the heliosphere. New Horizons has become more than just a spacecraft. It's a symbol of what humanity can achieve, of how far we're willing to go for knowledge, beauty, and perspective. Its legacy will live on. Future missions may return to Pluto with orbiters, landers, or even cryobots designed to explore subsurface oceans. What started as a reconnaissance flyby may one day evolve into deep planetary science, perhaps even the search for microbial life. And in the meantime, New Horizons still whispers data back to us, slowly, faintly, but faithfully. It reminds us that space is not empty. It is filled with places that challenge our assumptions, humble our intellect, and ignite our imagination. So let us never stop asking questions. Let us never stop seeking the unknown. Let us keep going, beyond Pluto, beyond the Kuiper Belt, beyond everything we think we know. Because somewhere out there, waiting in the dark, is the next great discovery. Only on Infinity Beyond.